Good afternoon, party people. What is going on? It's Friday, and you know what that means. It's time for another 3D.
Spike Dudley set for the ride. 3D reversal.
Of course, if you are new to the program, it drops each and every Friday right here on the SDH network. The main topic of discussion each and every week is on my beloved Manchester United. Listen, as we all know, the Premier League season has come to an end. That's a wrap on the Premier League. And I believe I can speak for every Manchester United fan all over the world. This wasn't the season everyone was hoping for, to say the least. It was just a season absolutely decimated by injuries, mistakes, selfishness. I mean, I could go, I could go on and on. But I do believe, and I think you believe too, injuries are at the top of the list. United finished with their worst ever finish in the Premier League, in eighth place this season with only 60 points. And those 60 points put them 8 points off the top four, which of course guarantees Champions League soccer. And it is a season that people are going to want to forget, and fast. How can they do that, you ask? Well, that's easy. Tomorrow, just win the freaking FA Cup final. Okay? I mean, it's as simple as that. Now, for those of you who aren't as familiar with the FA Cup, it is short for Football Association Challenge Cup. And I'm pretty sure it was, it's the oldest national football competition in the world, soccer competition in the world. Started, I'm pretty sure it was 1871 and 1872, obviously organized and named after the FA. But in 2015, it got a whole new shebang came in, with the Emirates becoming the headlining sponsor, therefore naming it the Emirates FA Cup. I do believe that everyone should buckle up, though, because tomorrow, for the second year in a row, we've got a Manchester derby in the FA Cup final. The illustrious Manchester City, who are the reigning and the defending four-time Premier League champions, and they just so happen to be the reigning and defending FA Cup champion. They will battle their crosstown rival, and of course, my beloved Manchester United. And listen, guys, United, no slouch in this cup. 12-time winners themselves, last winning it under Louis van Gaal in 2016, famously known for the sacking of the manager the day after they lifted the cup. And of course, the final taking place at the famous Wembley Stadium. Now, before we go any further about tomorrow's matchup, I just want to talk about City real quick. Manchester City, that is, because we all know that they're the absolute juggernaut of world soccer, and arguably most notable when the Sheikh took over, the City Football Group, the Abu Dhabi-based company, took over Manchester City, and bringing in Pep Guardiola. Since then, since Pep's arrival, City have won 16 trophies, most recently, as we all know, pulling off the treble last season, which included a Champions League trophy, a Premier League trophy, and the FA Cup. But hold on now. Where there's smoke, there's fire. In February of 2023, the Premier League charged Manchester City, I can't believe this is real, with over 115 breaches. Okay, guys? Those breaches spanned over, I think, nine seasons, arguably, just about. And I'm pretty sure most notably the charges are related to failure to provide accurate financial information, failure to provide details of player and management payment details. And of course, like I said, all taking place over 9 seasons from 2009, 2010, all the way to 2017, 2018. And listen, before I go any further on this particular topic, I just want to make it clear, well, 2 things crystal clear. I am not a lawyer. I just did my research. And second, I'm not taking anything away from Pep, especially his managing capabilities. He's absolutely incredible. But listen, guys, the facts are facts. The Premier League, they're awfully quick to hand Everton their point deduction. Nottingham Forest, the same thing. And from what I've read and what the rumors are, Leicester City, who are coming back up into the Premier League, they're about to come down on Leicester as well. So the Foxes beware. But Manchester City, I mean, they were charged last February and then went on to win a freaking treble. Again, great playing, great management. But how are they able to acquire those players? Awfully fishy, as they say. Until more comes out about the situation or until the Premier League drops the hammer, I just hope that they handle it the right way and quickly. 4 Premier League titles in a row. It's just not good, especially with other teams getting handed down point deductions. Everton twice appealing and some of the points being given back. Nottingham Forest, and like I just said, Leicester City. Okay, now back to the FA Cup final. Repeat of last year's final, where City reigned supreme, defeating Manchester United. Listen, I hate to make excuses, but I think everybody saw the writing on the wall. Following that Moose Cup win for United, the EFL Cup, the League Cup, if you will, to me, it just seemed like the ambition and the drive and the hunger kind of went downhill. Team got kind of decimated with injuries towards the last of the season, getting knocked out of Europe late after having, the aggregate lead. And as far as this season goes, we all know it's been so Jekyll and Hyde for United. It's just absolutely unreal. But what do I know? Eric Ten Hag in the calendar year 2020, Eric Ten Hag, this year, the calendar year of 2024, has been able to get United up for the big games. Unfortunately, not for the games. I say this with tongue in cheek, not for the games that matter. You get up for your Liverpools, you get up for your Cities, you get up for your Arsenals, but you can't beat a Southampton. You can't beat a Brighton comfortably. We'll go back to the beginning of the year. I could go on and on about that, but that's up to the players a lot too. And of course, coaching, I give a little bit of slack to that just because the players play on the field. But now back to the game tomorrow. Manchester City, guys, we all know they have such an incredible lineup. One in particular, I'm wondering I don't know if Pep's considering this tomorrow or if he'll stay with his famous 4-3-3. But against West Ham last week, Pep played a 4-1-4-1 formation with the back four. I believe it was Kyle Walker, Gvardiol, Ruben Diaz, and I apologize, I cannot remember the fourth center back. It'll come to me in just a second. But Rodri, who is arguably the best defensive midfielder in the world, sat right in front of that back four. He was the maestro, allowing those attacking wingers like Kyle Walker and Gvardiol to make those overlapping runs from their wingback positions and getting into the attack, as you'll see Foden, who was the player of the year, EA Sports 2023-2024 player of the year. You'll see Foden, Doku, they'll pinch inside, like I said, to allow those wingbacks to get on the outside and put some balls in to Phil Foden. And of course, the Golden Boot winner, Erling Haaland. They'll be looking to provide the goals. I said Rodri was the maestro. Look for Rodri to connect those balls up to Kevin De Bruyne, who will look to facilitate in the upper half of the field, defensive third area of Manchester United. And that second center back, I believe, was Akanji, sitting next to Ruben Diaz, who's one of the best in the world as well, the Portuguese. And now for the red side. It's the last game of the season, the FA Cup final. And for a change, it looks like health may be well for Man United this weekend because, and this is exciting. It's exciting and sad, however way you look at it. We saw this morning, United Stand posted a meme for one last time, one last dance. We will see the center back partnership between Lisandro Martinez and Rafael Varane. Listen, those two, when healthy, they were such a dynamic duo, especially last season. Varane, of course, leaving United at season's end, and Martinez coming back from another long injury spell. They were the anchors of the team, the heart and soul of the team last season, and having those two not paired together for arguably the majority of this season really, really was a shot to the back of Manchester United because you could just tell that they weren't there. Varane's very poised leadership and just very smart defensive mind. And of course, Losandro Martinez, arguably the heart and soul of this United squad. We found out yesterday Harry Maguire will not play, still out with injuries. Don't expect Harry back healthy until the Euros this summer. But playing beside Martinez and who I expect Varane, those two I expect to start at center back positions, will be Aaron Wan-Bissaka and the players' player of the year, Diogo Dalot, who's I've said a few times the last few months, he's had such an incredible season, but will for sure have his hands full tomorrow morning. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. Okay, so here's where another change comes in. I do believe that Soyfren Amrabat played himself out of the final with his performance last week against Brighton. Just, couldn't find anything positive from him. So I do believe Casemiro will step up from his center back spot and step back into his defensive midfield position where he will stay right behind Bruno Fernandes and Kobe Mainoo. And look, guys, those two, in my opinion, those two are the key for tomorrow. Bruno's creativity, his leadership, and Kobe Mainoo's just cool, calm, collective passing, dribbling. And the kid is he's so smooth. Gonna need everything from him tomorrow because it will take a lot to unlock that City defense. I'm hoping United have that high line, fast press, and just kill on that counterattack. Just hopefully they smell blood in the water early. I think Ten Hag will insert Rasmus Højlund back into the starting lineup at the number 9. And folks, I think Marcus Rashford also returns to the starting lineup tomorrow morning. I hope that Marcus uses that Euro snub as motivation. Big story came out this week. Gareth Southgate, he saw the writing was on the wall. Rashford had not as good a season as he did last season. He scored 30 goals in all competitions last year and only 8 goals this year. Big difference. So Marcus will need a good performance tomorrow, and I do think we get it. And real quick about the Euro snub, Marcus Rashford scored the most goals in the group stage of the World Cup, always plays great for England. And he's a threat that English team does not have. He can change a game just like that, and his relationship and partnership with Harry Kane has only gotten better as the years have gone on. So I'm not too sure about that one with Southgate, but I'm not too sure about him a lot of the times. Thankfully, he's got a squad of players who love to play for him, and we'll just have to wait and see about the Euros. But I'm not too sure I agree, with the snub of Rashford. I'm not saying Marcus deserved to start, but having something that spark off the bench, nobody in the world has that. So with Marcus back in the fold for United tomorrow, who's going to play on the right? Well, it's obvious. It's either going to be Ahmad or Garnacho. My humble opinion, and I think with the way that it should go, should be Ahmad. I think he has really come on strong. He's a little bit more healthy. He's got a little bit more fresh legs than Garnacho, the 19-year-old Alejandro Garnacho. Guys, he's played all season long. No excuses for him, but I think with him being the first sub off the bench to create havoc will be something that Manchester City, I don't, especially with Rashford going at them all game, bringing in a fresh Garnacho could be incredible for this club and for Eric Ten Hag. But, it's no secret. The task for tomorrow for United is tough. But I truly, truly believe they will be ready to go. Unfortunately, I just don't think it'll be enough. Manchester City are just too good, too strong, too competitive, and listen, their bench could start. Their bench 11 could arguably start for as a Premier League 11. So I think City are going to win their second FA Cup in a row as they go on to beat Manchester United in a predictive score from my mind of 2-0. But again, one thing is for sure. I think Ten Hag will have the boys up and ready to go. I don't know how much more motivation you need to get up for any final, regardless of what it is. The Manchester United Army, they will be out and about in and around Wembley, chanting, singing, you name it, all in hopes for the boys to bring home their 13th FA Cup and bring it back to Old Trafford and bring it back to the red side of Manchester. Come on, lads. Okie doke, guys. Listen, thank you so much for listening this week. I know I went kind of long, but it's a very important game for, both teams in Manchester, but more important for Manchester United and for Eric Ten Hag. I'm really, really excited about tomorrow. And again, I can't thank you enough for listening wherever you may be, because that's going to do it for me this week. I really, truly hope you enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Enjoy the FA Cup final. Real quick, before I get out of here. Saturday night, Deep South Wrestling will be putting on a show at New Realm Brewing on the Beltline in Atlanta, Georgia. So come on out, support your local independent wrestlers. Yours truly and the voice of violence, Nathan Hamilton, will be calling the action. So come on out and see us. We'd love to see you. And it's free for all. So no excuse. Come on out to New Realm Brewery, easy for me to say, on Saturday evening, 6 p.m. bell time. Would love to see you there. If not, no worries. I will speak to yous next week. Again, thank you so much for listening. Have a great weekend. Drewski out.